Greetings, KyleUniverse here, and man, when was the last time I filmed anything up against this wall? It's been forever. Okay, so E3 is almost here. Didn't turn my phone off. Or I just got a mushroom. So E3 2008 is almost here, and I am so excited to see what new games are on the horizon. Now, the one company I am always hyped for, no matter what, is Nintendo. Ever since the 80s, I've been a Nintendo fanboy. So whenever they start their conference, they have my full attention. But if there's one thing I think we all have, is our own wish lists. You know what I mean, right? You know, it's those games that you think about and you'd be like, wouldn't it be cool if Nintendo made that game? Or it's like you're playing another game and it's like, oh, I just got the greatest idea for like a new Mario game. You know, it's like, it's a wish list. It's the games that you always have wanted Nintendo to make. So I thought I'd talk about the games that I have always wanted to appear on the stage at E3. You know, like they come out, like Reggie comes out or whoever and says, okay, we're working on this project, it's this game. Now, before I start, I want to say these aren't games that are in production. These aren't games that are being talked about in Nintendo, or they're not rumors on the internet. Nothing like that. None of these games are confirmed. This is just me personally, the games that I have always wanted Nintendo to announce. And the thing is, sometimes it's actually come true. Like, for example, back when in the early 2000s, when we kind of had that long spread of we didn't have any 2D Mario games, like the side-scrolling, I was like, man, I really wish Nintendo would release a game that was more like, you know, Super Mario Bros. 3 or Super Mario World. And then, boom! New Super Mario Bros. Wii came out. And I was like, yes! My prayers have been answered! And then another time, I was like, I really wish they'd continue the Donkey Kong Country series, you know? Release Donkey Kong Country 4. And then, wham! Donkey Kong Country Returns came out. And I was like, yes! Another wish list of mine came true. Wow. So this is my wish list of games that I have always wanted Nintendo to make. Let's take a look. A Zelda fighting game. Okay, so I know we got Hyrule Warriors, which was awesome, and when that came out, at first when it was announced, I thought, is this the Zelda fighting game that I've always wanted them to make? But it was, but not exactly. Like, when I was playing Soul Calibur 2, and of course I would always pick Link, I thought, this is really cool, and Link is my favorite character to use in that game, and I was like, okay, what if they just kind of took that kind of like the Soul Calibur format, like almost like that fighting style, and made it into a Zelda fighting game? You know, like have all the different characters from Zelda. You know, have Link, have Impa, have... Sure, why not? Let's put Tingle in there. You know, it's like, whatever. You know, just all the different characters. And just have them almost like in a Street Fighter, almost Soul Calibur, Mortal Kombat type fighting game. I don't know. It's something I've always wished. Who knows, maybe it will come in the future. I don't know. We'll see. A standalone Koopa Kids movie. Or Koopalings, I guess. Yes, as I stated before in other videos, I knew the Koopa Kids first through the Mario Bros. 3 cartoon show, so I refer to them as Koopa Kids, not Koopalings, so that's just something I do, you know. I mean, I still call Peach Toadstool. Yeah. But, I always thought, like, a game that focused around the Koopa Kids would be great. Kind of like, not like, they go on their own, well, I guess so. They'd go on, like, their own adventures, but not like Mario would be the antagonist, but you'd have like a whole set of new characters. Like maybe they separate and all of them go to like different points of the world and just have their own little sets of adventures, and then the next level you'd play as the next one or something like that. And I don't know, I just kind of think that the Koopa characters are, the Koopalings or Koopa Kids are underdeveloped. Like I feel like there's a lot of personality that could be fleshed out with these characters that Nintendo really could, you know, utilize. And I just kind of think of the possibilities that is there. You know, I mean, of course the cartoon gave them all personalities of their own, but if Nintendo doesn't want to follow the cartoon, they could create different personalities for them, and I think you could actually have a spin-off franchise there. You know, kind of like how Yoshi's now kind of spinning off into his own franchise with, you know, his Yarn Adventures and Yoshi's Island and all that. Or I think, yeah, I would play a Koopa Kid franchise. How about you guys? A new Star Fox game that continues the story. Okay, so what I mean by this is that, when the new game Star Fox Zero for the Wii U came out, it kind of started the franchise over. It's kind of like a reboot. And that was one thing I wasn't happy with, because I was actually kind of enjoying the story. You know, it's like it was building from Star Fox 64 into Dinosaur Planet, or Star Fox Adventures if you prefer, Star Fox Assault, and into Star Fox Command, and I was actually really enjoying the story that they were setting up. And I know people would probably say it's like, well, Star Fox 64 rebooted the story from the Super Nintendo game, and well, that is kind of true. It's not so much a reboot as a retelling of the story. It was kind of just retelling it. And at that point, you didn't have like 3 or 4 games in the franchise that you're wiped out. It was just that one game, and your first game, which was, in the story, which is Star Fox 64, was a retelling of the Super Nintendo game. So it was okay. I mean, the game was great. It was okay the way they handled the story, how they retold it from the first one. But when Star Fox Zero came out and I learned that the story had been rebooted, I didn't like that, because I consider myself a big Star Fox fan, and I liked the story, and I liked all the different avenues it could have gone, and, you know, spoiler alert, yes, Star Fox Command had multiple different endings at the end, and I kind of wanted to see some games based off some of those endings, and I thought that would be interesting. And I'm not a real big fan of the gameplay of Star Fox Zero. I know, shocker, I hear people talk about it on the internet all the time, how just the motion sensor of everything just kind of turns them off of the game. And I understand where they're going with that. It's like, okay, you need to fire a bomb. It's like, hold it like this, hold it like that. It's like, okay, fire the bomb. It's like, it slows down the action. It really does. And the thing is, I am really good at adapting to different controls of different games, but I just could not get it. I could get it, but I just could not get into Star Fox Zero. It just felt like it was just slow compared to like Star Fox 64 and Star Fox Assault, which was just rapid fire action. It's like, okay, fire, 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 okay, shoot a bomb, okay, go, go. It's like you didn't have to stop, point the gamepad so that you had it just right, then shoot the bomb. It's like, I feel like they could do better. And I'd like there to be a new Star Fox game for the Switch that just throws out the motion controls, you know, just none of that, you know, just completely throw that out and just go back to the style of Star Fox 64 and Star Fox Assault. And it's like, I think that's the best way to go. And even though they probably won't do this, even though they've already rebooted the franchise, they probably won't just say, oh, forget about Star Fox Zero and this new game will continue the story from one of the other games. It's like, they probably won't do that. They'll probably keep it going from Star Fox Zero, which, I don't know, maybe that means they'll reintroduce Crystal in a different way. I don't know. But whatever you do, Nintendo, don't use motion control in Star Fox. It slows it down. It really does. Okay. So, when Luigi's Mansion was announced, I went nuts. Okay, one thing that I have always been a fan of are haunted houses, or scary houses, or spooky houses, or whatever. So, like, when they combine that with a Mario game, and I'm all about Mario, I got so excited for this. And when it came out, I loved it. In fact, I even think it's probably one of my favorite Mario games, or Luigi games, but, you know, of the Mario Universe series. And when I beat it, I was like, okay, what would a sequel be for this? And I got this great idea. What if we call it Mario's Mansion? Okay? And it would still have Luigi and Mario, but they would both have like Poltergeist 3000s on their back. But on top of that, you would have like Peach there. You would have Daisy there. You would have Toad. So you'd have these 5 characters all going through the mansion, and the mansion would be like 10 times bigger. Like it would just be humongous. And like all 5 characters go off into different corridors. And like throughout the entire game, you can switch between the 2 characters just to see where they are. Or like you could have a map where you could see like Peach's arrow moving through the hallway as she's exploring over there, and Mario's is going through here, over here, and you would just keep track of everyone and just keep switching back and forth to see what they're doing, or to fight Ghost over there, or fight a Ghost over there. Maybe 2 characters would come together and fight a big ghost. It's like, that's just such a good idea. And it's like, that would have been perfect. I mean, we got a sequel, what is it? Luigi's Mansion: Dark of the Moon. Wait, is that the Transformer movie? You know what I mean. Okay, anyway. We got Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS, and it was good. I enjoyed it. I mean, I kind of liked the look of the GameCube version better, which was kind of going for a little bit more realistic look, and the 3DS one was kind of going for a more cartoony look, but, you know, it was still good, still fun. But I just thought that my Mario's Mansion idea would have been 10 times better, and I mean, maybe not better, but I don't know. I thought it was a cool idea, and it still could be a cool idea. Nintendo, if you're listening, you can have that idea. Just go for it. I would love to play that game. Alright, guys. Don't hate me on this one. Come here. I actually really liked Metroid Other M. I'm sorry! I know all the criticisms with this franchise, with this game, and I understand it. Yes, Samus, you took Samus, who was a complete badass character, and made her subservient to Adam, and it's like, oh, I can only do things when Adam tells me to. It's like, I get it, I get the hate. I get it, but Lord help me, I love that game. It's like the controls are great, the action is great, exploring the bottle ship was a lot of fun. I thought it was good. And then I went online and saw that everybody hated it, but I liked it. Once again, I understand the criticisms around it. I thought it was fun. And I wanted to see a sequel. You know, I like the character of Anthony. He was a lot of fun. And I wanted to see, like, him and Samus's friendship pop up in a game again. You know, like, maybe I thought it would be cool to have a sequel where both of them go on an adventure together. You know, it's like, I thought it was a good idea. But when that game bombed, I don't think there are any plans of anything like that. So this is probably the biggest long shot out of any game on my wish list. But honestly, who knows? I mean, if Metroid Prime can get a 4, you know, out of nowhere, and just happens to appear, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're working on this. I think anything can happen. So we'll see. Okay, and the last one I have to talk about is the game that Nintendo fans have been asking Nintendo to make for over 2 decades now, including myself. You probably know what it is. Mario RPG Part 2. Okay, we've all heard it. It's like all of the fans of Mario RPG want this game to be made. It's like, and it's like, why not Nintendo? Yes, I understand that Paper Mario, you kind of see that as the pseudo-successor of the franchise, but it's not. It's not. Yes, Paper Mario is an RPG, but it's not Mario RPG. It's not continuing the story at all. It's like, give us Geno, give us Mallow, give us Dodo, give us the Axum Rangers, give us Smithy, give us... I'll take Croco, you know, whatever. Put Croco in there. It's like, give us all those characters that we loved in the first game. And it just seems like this is what comes up to Nintendo all the time. I know so many people keep asking this. And honestly, I feel like it's going to have to be made sooner or later. It has to. Because I know when I search the internet, I see lots of people talking about it. And if I'm just seeing that, imagine all the messages Nintendo gets about it. I mean, how could they not? How could they not? It's like, just team up with Square Enix now, because it got bought out and all that, and just make that game. It would sell so many copies. I would buy that the first day. Oh my gosh. I would play it just non-stop until I beat that game. I want to play that game so bad. Oh. Like this video if you want to play Mario RPG 2. Oh man, Nintendo, come on. Oh. Whew. But, okay, time will tell. I mean, who knows? you know, there are so many games that I've wanted in the past, and Nintendo has surprised me. And they've actually said, "Oh, you wanted that?" And I was like, "Yeah." It's like, well, here it is. It's like, well, okay. You know, it's like, I'm betting that some of these games actually will be made soon. And I hope so, sooner or later. Well, E3 is almost here, and who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe one of the things that I wish would come true may come true. You know, we don't know. We'll see. But for now, I'm KyleUniverse, and I will see you out there.